Hello everyone, today I just got a brand new brush and I was excited to get it, and I was just thinking about why don't I just bring you guys my favorite brushes that I can't live without. So my brushes are in no particular order, so if you want to see them, my first brush that I always grab for and I get the most control of is the Bare Minerals Flawless Face Brush. It's just a small powder brush. I use this mainly for bronzer because that's the first thing I always do when after moisturizing and priming is I always put on bronzer first. So with this brush I have control compared to like bigger brushes that I can't, like, especially I have a big forehead, so, and I always well, most of the time if I'm not wearing my bangs down, I lay my baby hairs down if I'm putting my hair in a ponytail. So I definitely like to have control getting through my big forehead, around my big forehead. So with this brush I have a lot of control with bronzer. Now the next two brushes are for foundation, depending on what foundation I'm going for. So this is a traditional foundation brush. I think this is from Coastal Scents. This is one of my go-to brushes. I always grab for this when I'm putting on liquid foundation. There's another brush that I use with this, but we'll get on later on in the video. Next brush will be the MAC 150. It's just a dome shaped powder brush, and I use this for mostly powder foundation. Today I used it. As you can see, it's dirty. This is the 150 again, if I didn't say that. And I just once again I use this for sheer application. I'm not trying to hide anything. I use it for mostly color because definitely like in the winter time, the winter takes away all my color and the skin, I get so pale, I look like a ghost. So that's what I use this for. Next I use most of the time, depending on what I'm going for, but most of the time I do contour with the 109. I love this brush. I love cheekbones. I love having color on my cheeks, as you can tell. So I always contour before I put my blush on. Talking about blush, the trusty MAC 129. This is my favorite blush brush of all. I have a backup of this because I love it so much. For any people that are new to makeup, definitely this is a brush that you should have. I love the 129. Also, you can use this, you don't have to use this as a blush brush, you could just use this as a powder brush. If I did not have the Bare Escentuals brush, I would be using the 129 for my bronzer, but I already have that brush, so I use this one strictly for blush. But for fixing up boo-boos, I'll take my foundation powder, and I'll if I put too much blush, I'll go over with this and dab it over my cheeks. Excuse me. If I have a slur, it's because I just put on my tongue ring. I haven't put in my tongue ring in like 9 months. Yeah, about 9 months. So excuse me if I'm slurring. The next brush would definitely be for any loose powders that I use. I will use the 134 brush. Ooh, 134. Funny story about this brush. This is my first MAC brush ever. This is the most expensive brush I've ever had, that I do have or own. Yeah, it is the most expensive brush I own. And I had this brush already for like 2 years, 2.5 years. And I just started using this brush recently. Mainly I use this for loose powders. What I do with this brush, I get my MSF and instead of like powdering it up, I just take a little bit, dab, tap of excess, and press all over the face. And I love the finish it gives me. And then when I place it all, I just, whatever's on the brush or inside the bristles, I just, you know, buff it in. And that's it. But getting to the next brush will be this brush. This brush is the Sephora Professional Contour Blush Bronzer Brush, number 43. Now, I don't use this for blush or contouring or bronzer. I use this mainly for buffering. This is such a good brush for buffering. This is all natural goat hair. The density is, it pulls up a fight. It doesn't give in. But it's definitely a best. What I use it for is for buffering. Buffering everything. Buffering foundation, blush. If I have a harsh blush, because I get blush happy. And I just buff. Any harsh lines around the forehead, I'll just buff it with this. This is a great buffer brush. I love this. I don't use it for anything else. But I try to use this with foundation, because this is one of my second oldest brushes. With foundation, with liquid foundation and cream foundations, I do not like it because I feel like it absorbs all the product, because it's like one pump will only do like probably 1.5 of your face, this side and probably half of this side, and that's one whole pump, when a whole pump could probably do both sides of your face. So I definitely don't recommend this for foundation. Powder foundation this is good for, but definitely not foundation, liquid foundation or cream foundation. Strictly buffering. Next brush I always go for, and I absolutely love, is my brows. Everybody, if y'all know me, y'all know that I love my brows. And this is a comb from Sephora's Professionals, and this is the brow comb in number 21. I love the way this goes. The hairs go up. Like the shape of the brush is nice. The brow side, the brow comb goes up, and the lash combs go straight. I love it. I love this brush. Next, I cannot live without an angle brush. This is the MAC 263. My numbers are fading. Yeah, definitely this is a great brush. I can't live without an angle brush because I do my brows, if not every day, every other day. I don't wear eyeshadow all the time. Most of the time I don't wear eyeshadow, but I always wear a highlight, and my favorite brush to put on highlight with is the 227. I love it. It's fluffy. It's a great brush to get in here, under your brow bone. It's great to even get in the tear duct. Just get enough color, dab it, tap it for the excess, and pop it right in there, and you're good to go, and it looks natural. And last but not least would be the 224. Now I don't use this for blending. I usually if I have concealer on under the eyes, I will definitely put the my iPod is playing The Little Mermaid. I basically use this brush to apply loose powder under the eyes, not too heavily, and the brush is just perfect and tapered to get in there in the crevices all over here, or even in the cracks of your nose or whatever. And yeah, this is a great brush for doing that. I don't, unless I'm using this for eyeshadow, but most of the time I use this for applying loose powder under the eyes. And sometimes when I don't want to use a lipstick straight from the tube, I will use a lip brush, and this is the MAC 118. So it's an okay brush. It's not my best brush, but I do grab for it a lot. I'm gonna give you 3 brushes for beginners that I recommend you to have, or you should have in your collection, definitely, if you're gonna start off with makeup. First brush will definitely be a traditional foundation brush. It don't have to be an expensive brush. It can be an inexpensive one. This is an inexpensive one, and it does the job just fine. But yeah, definitely you could use this with powders and creams and liquid foundation, so this is a must-have brush. Second brush, of course you're gonna have to set your liquids and cream foundations, so you need a powder brush. I definitely recommend the 150 from MAC. This is a big powder brush, and it does the job as setting. This is a must-have brush, the 129 brush. You can use this as a multi-purpose brush. You can use this as a blush brush, but you can also use this as a bronzing brush. Definitely after you put foundation on, you're gonna look one-dimensional and ghostly and too even. So you must put at least blush or bronzer on. So this is good for both. After you put on your blush, just sweep it and put some bronzer on, or you can even use this, because it's a small brush, you can get into crevices like around your nose, and you can even set under your eyes with this because it's a small brush. So definitely, excuse me, these would be my recommended brushes. And once again, this is a traditional foundation brush. This is a 150 and this is a 129. So I hope you liked this video. These are my favorite brushes. Until my next video, I'll holla.